and welcome to another episode of How To, where in this episode I'm going to show you how to scramble eggs. First thing you're going to need are some eggs. It sounds daft, but you know, some people use powdered scrambled, like in pubs and stuff. The next thing you're going to need is milk. I can't stand milk, so I use Rice Dream. This video is not sponsored by them. So yeah, it's basically a milk substitute. There's all sorts of different things out there. I don't know how other things will do. There's like almond milk, soya milk. I don't know if they will work, but the rice one does, so that's fine. You're also going to need some butter. I can't stand butter, so I'm using Flora Proactive, actively lowering cholesterol. And you're going to need a saucepan. One saucepan. Now this doesn't have the non-stick Teflon on it because I'm going to be mixing up the egg with a fork, and if it has the non-stick Teflon on it, that will scrape it off. You could do the same thing with a wooden spoon, and then that will protect the saucepan, and you get the same result. It's just this is what I'm using because I just prefer it with a fork because I think it's a bit quicker. Wooden spoon works absolutely fine if you only have the non-sticks type because you don't want to scratch it off. Right, so another thing which I like is pepper. I think it just gives it a little extra flavour. I find it can be a scrambled egg. I find can be just a little bit bland without pepper. So I like to just throw it into the mix just to give it a little extra something. And of course you'll need something to put it on. So I've got some toast. Well, I've got some bread which I'm going to put in the toaster and convert into toast. That's the last of my bread. Probably should have bought some more when I got the eggs. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is obviously break the eggs into the saucepan. Now, the eggshells, you can actually use those apparently to help stop slug eating your plants and stuff, but it's like the middle of winter, there are no slugs around going to eat anything, there's nothing out there. So break the eggs into the saucepan. Doesn't matter if it breaks because you're going to want it to break anyway. I'm going to do 3 because I'm quite hungry, but do as many as you like. I forgot to mention at the start of this video, whenever you're dealing with food, always wash your hands properly. Now, normally at this point I'd get my second camera and point it in the saucepan so you can see it all lovely. Unfortunately, all my other camera batteries are dead at the moment, so I'm just going to make do with the one. But there it is. I don't know if you can see that. There are the eggs in there. And I'm going to give them a bit of a whisk up. Alright, so once that's kind of all whisked up, then I'm going to add in a little bit of milk, or in my case Rice Dream, and I'm going to put in some of the butter, or in my case Flora. Put a nice big dollop in. Whisk it all up. Now obviously the butter's not going to melt until you stick it on the heat, so let's go over to the hob. Right, you don't want it too hot to start with because you really want the butter to melt into it before the eggs start cooking. The reason I like doing it in a saucepan like this, I just find it tastes nicer. I just don't like microwave scrambled eggs. I know people do it. Some people like put it in for a little bit, they take it out, they mix it, they put it in, take it out, and they mix it, whatever. And I just don't like the flavour. I think I don't know, it just tastes weird to me, and the texture's all wrong. I find if you do it in a saucepan like this, if you haven't put enough butter or milk in, you can always add a bit more. But if you put too much in, I find that it simply just won't absorb what it doesn't need. Then you basically just dish up the eggs that you have, and then just chuck away the rest, and it's usually just a little dribble at the bottom of the saucepan. So the butter's melting now, so I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. You've got to keep it moving because you want it to scramble, so you do have to keep on stirring constantly. If you stop stirring, then it tends to stick to the bottom. So if you don't want it to stick, that's why I suggested use a wooden spoon. It's also quieter. So I'll stop stirring just a moment so I can talk. So if you're using a wooden spoon, then obviously it's quieter. If it starts to burn on the edges, turn the heat down a little bit because you don't want that. You're trying to cook it, not incinerate it. And then just keep it going, and then it will start to clump together at the base. So constantly break those bits off, and then let the liquid fall down, and then they start to clump together, and then eventually the whole thing will turn into scrambled eggs. I nearly forgot the pepper. Very important, gives it flavour. So while it's still in a liquid state, put the pepper in. So there's the pepper going in, and you can see the pepper on there like that, and then just mix that in. I'm trying to do this with the camera lens. It's not easy doing it with the camera lens. And then just add to taste, really. But you can see it's starting to come together now. Keep it moving. Notice I didn't actually measure out any of the ingredients apart from counting the eggs. As I said, you kind of just put a splash of milk in, a blob of butter. It generally works out alright. I'm going to say that is done and the toaster's popped. So if you want, you can use the spoon you used earlier to dish it out and just scoop it on there. It's hard to do it this way. I have to do it like this so you can see it on the camera. There you go, and that is how you make scrambled egg, or how I make scrambled egg. You might prefer it in the microwave, but I don't like it in the microwave, so... Anyway, if you like this, I've got lots of other useless and pointless how-to videos. My channel's full of them. I'm sure I'm going to think of loads more in the future. I also do other things like film reviews, vlogs, whatever the hell I feel like making. Check them out. If you like what you see, a thumbs up would be brilliant. Click on the bell icon and subscribe. Actually, you have to subscribe first, then click on the bell. Or not. It's up to you. Alright, cheers. Bye!